What is up, guys? We should be live. It is Riley Reviews here for the exclusive interview with John from Queen Studios over here on my left. I got this amazing panel, best panel of 2023, possibly, perhaps. We'll get into all of it. But before not going to take too much time here. We're going to go quickly into it. But I'll start with you, Will, just to get our intros out. How you doing, man? You excited, man?
Good, man. Happy to be here. Happy to chat with John. Happy to chat with Justin, your handsome butters, Carlos, and his shoulders. So happy to be here, bro, with everyone, man. So it's going to be fun to talk some INART. And, we got a release of the Joker. And we'll talk about, of course, the grail that is Aragorn, it appears. And, man. Happy to be here. So thanks for the invite as always, man.
Of course, bro. Happy to have you here. Really appreciate you jumping on. Carlos, the man himself, A Place for Collecting. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing really good, man. I'm really excited today to talk about, like Will said, about INART and to talk about how we've given them the keys to the kingdom. So I'm excited. Let's keep it going.
Awesome, man. Glad to have you in. And the man himself, Kiko, Handsome Butters, as we call him. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm well. I'm super excited that we're actually here, able to talk about this amazing piece of work. But you know what? I'm not going to waste anybody's time, y'all. This is exciting to be here, so I'm just going to shut the hell up.
I love it. What a way to start it. Thank you for joining in, Kiko. And the man himself, Justin's Collection, was able to make it into the building. How are you doing, bro? Look at that gorgeous flex of the INART Joker. Oh my gosh.
So low.
Damn, I thought you were gonna say me, but thank you.
Oh, and
so
Justin,
much.
and you too. Sorry.
No, it's fine. The Joker is absolutely. Oh, you're gonna solo me. It's incredible. I mean, I spent all day yesterday working on that review. It was one of my most in-depth ever. It was super long, so hopefully you all enjoyed it. But I'll be like Kiko. I won't take too much airtime. I want to get to John and the questions that you have prepared. But thanks for inviting me on.
Of course, dudes. Happy to have you in. First time on the channel. And yeah, I'm really excited for the show. But like I said, guys, any comments, any super chats, I'm not going to confirm that we'll get to them. But if you guys want to have any questions answered, we'll get into that in the second half. But we're going to go straight into our questions we had prepared for John. But yeah, without wasting any more time, I mean, John, do you want to introduce yourself? You being in the channel for the first time. It's awesome to have you. We met in Vegas. But yeah, we're excited to have you here, man. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, so if anyone doesn't know, so my main job right now is at Queen Studios, and then I also help with INART with their licensing now, and also head to the overseas events and help with the planning of the events. So hopefully, following the fan event we had last year, we'll have another one this year, maybe two. That's what we're aiming for. So hopefully this year we'll get to see you guys again and bring some figures over.
Nice. Well, that's super exciting, man, especially because we got some conventions here around the areas in the United States. So that's really awesome. But like I said, guys, let's just go straight into the questions. I'm excited. So the question number one I'm going to go for you. And this is my question. And I'm starting with, we read in, I believe, John, I'm sure you've seen it, in 1/6 Republic, there was an interview with Viper. And they explained that, talked about 1/6 vehicles. And Viper actually stated that the Pattinson motorcycle is about near completion, which I was kind of surprised with. And my main question to you would be, if you do know the answer to it, is there any other vehicles being put into production that say the Pattinson Batmobile? I know we have the motorcycle confirmed from you guys, but do we have that or the DeLorean? That'd be my first question for you.
So the Batmobile is one that they started working on, and I know that's one we want to make, but it's more challenging making the vehicles. Our expertise as a company is on the figures, and like the main goal is the realism in the head sculpts and the high quality materials. So with the vehicles themselves, it'll take a little bit more time. So that is why we've not shared too much about that. I'm not sure where they're at with that, but if we make the car and everything works out, then the Batmobile should be next. And then after that, we mentioned the DeLorean last year, but I'm not sure the timeline of that and if that will happen this year or next year. Other vehicles, we're looking to get feedback. That's really big for us, get as much feedback as possible, what people want.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for that answer on the question. Yeah, I know that you guys did state, yeah, the DeLorean is on the planning docket, but like you said, might be a little bit some time to get there. And Carlos, I know you had a question that's kind of close to that. Do you want to address that?
Yeah. I believe you only have the license for part 1, right? Not part 2 or part 3. Is that accurate?
I think so. Yeah, okay. But the thing is with licensing is that your contract's only for like a year or two. It depends on what deal we've got. I didn't work on that specific one. So if it comes to the point where we need more time, we might renew or might look at other licenses as well. I think last year, the main goal was to make sure the first few figures are as perfect as possible instead of plow through that list that we released. We want to make sure that the first few releases are on point. So that's why they're not really rushing the vehicles.
Makes sense.
Awesome for sure. And yeah, I know some people are super excited about that motorcycle. I know Viper confirmed that's almost being done. So I'd imagine we're gonna see that in the coming months. I'd presume. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, the main thing now is we're coming up to Chinese New Year, so everything shuts down in China for like a month and a half or so. So probably March you might hear something. I reckon that's when most of the news will start to come out.
Awesome, man. That's super exciting. But yeah, let's get to the next question. I believe that is you, Will. So you want to address that?
It is. And before I ask my main question, John, I have to ask you a real brief question. Is it true that during the Vegas event, you and Justin carried a life-size Tom Holland bus down the strip? Because I heard a crazy story about that, where you guys went down the strip, went to a, what was it, hairdressing salon, Justin, to get the Tom Holland style, and you guys were carrying the bus down the strip, like the Tom Holland life-size, and there were people stopping you. John, is there any truth to that story, or is Justin exaggerating?
100% true. So the crazy thing at the Vegas event, it was only me and the CEO of the company, Jason, that were there. Yeah, so Justin kindly helped out, and if he wasn't there, there's no chance we'd have been ready in time.
Riley was there. Should have asked for his help.
Yeah, I know. Maybe we should have.
Next time. Illegally.
Yeah.
So the hair needs to be styled, because if the photos, sometimes with silicone busts, if the hair doesn't look good, it could look like a wig. Or people get really picky about it, especially because it's almost $4,000 shipped. Yeah. So we literally had to go find the hairdressers to do it, a hair salon, but no one would do it. So we're just walking down Vegas and people were stopping and taking photos and stuff.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Hilarious.
Well, sorry, John, I had to throw that question in there because Justin told me that story and I was like, I don't believe you. That sounds too crazy to be real. But anyway, John.
It was in the back of his Tesla as well. So
just hiding in the trunk.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's a story right there. John, my main question, though, is are there any updates on the global licensing and distribution? Because I know this has been talked about quite a bit. Can you share maybe any updates or developments, even as far as the negotiations possibly? Is there any sort of info on that?
Yeah, so as we mentioned last year, the Dune license is done, and that will be global this year. So the Polar Atreides will be the first one from that. We mentioned at the Vegas event that the Michael Jackson license is signed, and we have 2 figures from Michael Jackson coming this year. Wow. And then when we went to the US, the main goal was to speak to Warner Brothers and speak to them about licensing. The main issue is that, as you guys have seen in the news, there's been massive shakeups, especially in that company. So I think a couple of guys we spoke to have left the company. So we're in a bit of limbo right now. We're not sure where we're at. So we'll just keep pushing and see what will happen. But that one's the one that we're a little bit unsure on. We're looking at more licenses, anime as well. But I'm not sure if they're global just yet. Maybe Asia. But that's what we're working on right now.
Gotcha. Well, thank you. Thanks for the update.
Awesome. Great stuff there. Kiko, I believe you are number 3. So do you want to get to your question, man?
Now, did I hear you say Michael Jackson, correct?
Yep.
You had to make that clear. 2 figures. So
just making sure, because I have my Pure Arts Michael Jackson right over there. I can't wait for that. But question number 3, Riley, if you want to throw that up there, is there any ideas or hints, besides Michael Jackson, for the next figure or PO in phase 1? Hashtag INART Daenerys win.
It's not
You're gonna throw that in. He wants it.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I asked that question and they're a little bit vague on that as well, because it depends on how things are going. Because like I mentioned before, the realism is really important. So I saw a really early look at the Michael Jackson yesterday, and the sculpt still needs some work. So I think it's going to depend on how things develop and how things move along. So maybe right now they're not.
What era that is from?
So it would be I've forgotten which one it is now. So I've seen a few different ones. They looked at Thriller, but I don't think we're going to do Thriller because we're going to make a Thriller bust. I think one of them's from the Super Bowl commercial. They're not commercial. Super Bowl.
I'm all in.
Halftime. Or from another event where he wears the same outfit. The others I'm not sure on.
Okay.
Awesome.
Well, that's
Thank
super
you for that.
exciting to hear.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's super cool
That's
seeing
awesome,
that
man.
Michael Jackson's going to be a character, because obviously people have been asking for a lot of new stuff, and that's clearly a character that would be a really nice one to hit on for sure.
Yeah, and didn't you say your dad's interested in that one, Riley?
Yeah, he's interested in the Michael Jordan, the NBA figure. That's
Michael
the one he's
Jordan.
looking at.
Michael Jordan. Yeah, that would be cool.
Okay.
That
I'm
would be
Michael
cool.
Jackson.
Yeah, either of the two. I mean, he'd probably be
Yeah,
excited
both
for
are
that
great.
too.
NBA we can look into, and we did look into it maybe 2 years ago, but the licensing is really expensive because you've got to play the players' rights, the NBA, and then if you've got any like kit sponsors like Nike, Adidas, or whoever makes the kits, you have to pay for that. So it gets really expensive.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's awesome to hear, though. That's really exciting. I know a lot of people really want that NBA lot because that would just be huge, especially Michael Jordan. But Carlos, you're number 4. Do you want to get hit at this question, man?
Yeah, definitely. So this next one is specifically about the 2 biggest and most, favorite characters of all time, Black Adam and Mira. So obviously with what's going on with DC and the reboot, have plans changed? Are you still going to keep Black Adam? Are you keeping Mira? If you are keeping Mira, is she going to come with like a courthouse diorama? What are your plans there?
A courthouse diorama.
I think with the Black Adam, that's one that could be coming up soon because it's one we've been working on for some time. I think we made a quarter scale statue that we showed in Thailand, and the feedback for that on the sculpt was very good. And I think the team are working on that. The challenge with Black Adam is the rock's so big to capture is like full physique. Frame. That's what it's physique. So I think they'll still go ahead with that. I can't see a reason why not. Mira we could do because other companies have made Mira statues, Mira busts, and maybe even figures as well, licensed, unlicensed. So we could go ahead with that. I think it's more going to be like the new movies that are a bit uncertain, like The Flash. Who knows what's happening with that? Those are the ones where we'll just put it on the back burner.
If you make a Mira, you should do a deluxe version where she comes like a mega pint. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
That's the thing,
advice, John.
But in China, no one really knows about that trial. So
really?
It's fine. Yeah, no one's really interested. They just
make it a U.S. exclusive.
Yeah, that's where the global license comes in.
Someone said we should include a dog and a bee or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
So
God. But that's super cool to hear that. So even with the DC being the reboot, it seemed like you're still kind of going to tackle those older characters. So that's pretty cool to see. That's exciting. But number 5 question, Justin, I believe this one's yours. Do you want to address this one, man?
Yes, I'm so sorry for the long question. It was like 2:00 in the morning, and Riley was like, "Hey, you got any questions?" And I'm like, "Do I?" But anyway, I'll try and simplify it. So I reviewed the Joker yesterday. It was incredible, but seeing as though most superhero type characters, their costumes aren't, let's just say, as fabric based as the Joker or Aragorn or Legolas or Bruce Wayne or any of the other characters on that Phase 1 list. How confident do you think the team is tackling like the more technically advanced costumes, like say for instance a mech like an Iron Man suit or all out rubber like Batman Begins or Batman Forever, or are you just going to stick to the like fabric based stuff for now?
It's a good question. I think that one, it would be case by case basis, and I know it doesn't sound like a good answer, but that's just how it is. Like I think there's another question later about the material of the overcoat for Aragorn. Sometimes they're just looking for the material that's going to last the longest, but also high quality. So it's going to be case by case. I noticed that with some of the like Spider-Man, where it's got the rubber suit, there's no or very little like posability or range of motion. So if there's something we can do differently, it's something we will do. But right now it's just case by case. Look at each one and what can we do differently to other people, make it as high quality as possible. But to quickly ask you, Justin, so you've seen the sample up close in person. So how's the production piece compared to the sample?
It's just as good. If not, maybe even a little bit better. I think. I mean,
nice.
The prototype was awesome, but having the box, the experience, because the experience is part of it, right? You got the Velcro straps, and everything is individual. Every single hand is even individually wrapped. Like you don't see that with anything else. So when you sit down and you enjoy that unboxing experience, it kind of adds to it. So maybe I'm just swooning because I really had a great time reviewing it yesterday, but I think the head sculpt is just as good. The tailoring is just as good. I'm really happy.
Yeah. because that's one of the things we wanted to see. So like when Justin came to the US, we wanted to do like the first ever prototype review. Now we've got like a direct comparison. I don't think it's ever been done before, where someone can compare what the prototype's like to the actual final production piece. So it's going to be interesting to see what the comments are for that.
But
and the team.
Oh, go ahead.
Your team, John. I remember when we were in Vegas. They didn't know how good it was. Like they were cautious. They were like, "Oh, maybe," but it's our first figure. We want to be really careful. I'm like, dude, it's so freaking good. Right. And the team in China was like, but I don't know the angle. And then the video released, and then everyone was like, whoa. And now the final one's here. Just let your team know that they can be confident in their work. It is really good. It is that good. Seriously.
And
I'll share that.
John, real quick, since we're talking about materials, can you still confirm that you won't be using pleather, or you still may use pleather?
As it stands, they don't want to use pleather.
Gotcha.
I can't comment. Okay. It can't comment like for like 5 years, 10 years down the time. Hopefully, if we're still in business, who knows? But for now, the stance is make sure the materials are going to be durable, last as long as possible. It sometimes might not be sometimes maybe leather's too expensive for some characters if you want to keep the price down. But we won't choose a material that's going to degrade. So like for the higher price pieces, we'll probably use like leather and real materials.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's great to hear, man. And like you said, that's kind of like your guys' statement from the start of INART. You kind of want to, even with statues, like you said, when it comes to the prototype, you want to try and match that, if not get a better representation of that. And Justin, like he says, he has the figure in hand, and that's exactly what he's telling you. So that's awesome that you guys came through with that. It's really awesome. But number 6, this is going to be my question. Kind of just simplifying with the limited edition figure, because we know we saw this in phase 1. When can we expect to see the first limited edition figure, which was the Joaquin Phoenix? And then can you in any way like explain what the limited edition would be, or are you guys still kind of figuring out what you're going to do with that, any numbered possibly way? But yeah, what are your thoughts?
They're still figuring this one out, and how it's going to work. This Phoenix Joker in particular is going to be like the first licensed one. So when speaking with the licensors, they want to make it a premium. They don't want to make it like a low price figure. So I think they're still trying to figure out how to make it high price. I think it's going to be around $1,000. It won't be less than that, but it could be in a 2-pack, and it could be a limited run. They're still working on that. They're still working on the sculpt. I saw some early 3D prints the other day of the background and everything like that, which I can't say what it is right now. But essentially, it's going to be limited in some way. Could be a 2-pack, and it's going to be quite high price just because that's what the licenses requested.
At least 1,000, you said, right?
Yeah. I don't think it'll be less than $1,000. I don't know the number in R&B, but that's what I was told. That's how much
your pennies, boys.
to.
I know.
Yeah, so it's similar to, it's almost like the Heath Ledger Joker, but it's kind of like that little extra hike for that premium, like you guys have talked about. So that makes sense. Yeah. Number 7, I believe this is you, Will. So would you like to answer or ask this question?
Yeah, and this ties in really well to what you just referenced, John. My question really was, will INART continue to offer 2-packs? Because I know with the Joker, this has been something that's been, I guess, slightly polarizing, but mostly pretty accepted. Some people kind of wish there was a Joker that was offered rooted in a single pack. So I wanted to kind of ask you, as that was your first figure, has INART sort of changed its stance at all in terms of offering 2-packs, or is that something that's going to be done moving forward? Is there going to be any situation kind of like what happened with the original Heath Ledger Joker, where to get the rooted one, you have to get the 2-pack? Is that kind of going to be part of the business model moving forward?
I think there's no real decision on that, so it could be just case by case again. So for example, with the 2019 Joker, that one in particular is going to be a high price. So if we're going to charge that much money, we want to make sure it's exceptionally good, but also add as much value as possible. So it could be a 2-pack. So it might not be a 2-pack if we could do something extra, but we've got to figure that out. And I think that's why it's very difficult to answer that question now. Okay. In most cases, we might offer a 2-pack option, but also make it like available for a single as well. I think that's the main feedback we've got, but it could depend on on the character as well.
Because that's what I think, John. I think, for example, with the Joker, at least for what I've seen from the comments and what people have told me, like with the Heath Ledger, if there was a single rooted and a 2-pack that to give collectors the options, that would have been, I think, been really cool. And even, I don't know if other people feel this way, but the Pennywise. I think the Pennywise would have been awesome if you got a 2-pack for that, because the 2 head sculpts are so different. So I feel like that could have been one where like a 2-pack would have been really exciting, but maybe there's not quite the demand for Pennywise that there is for the Joker. So I get that. Maybe that's what it is. Except for me. I love Pennywise, but the rest maybe not.
We'll take all of them.
Yeah, I'll order the
I got it. Anyways, number 8, Carlos. I believe this is you. Do you want to ask this question, man?
I'm gonna put it up. There you go. Yeah. So there's been some, talks in the community as far as whether INART, has released or not. So to clarify, has the Joker officially released in China? And if possible, can you tell us how many figures were out in batch 1 as of now?
Yeah, I asked this question yesterday about the number, and they didn't get back to me on the number. I think it's a small run. It's usually a small run, the first batch. Right. But it is officially released. And what they generally do in our company is that they'll prioritize like long-term customers. So, for example, if someone's bought a lot of our statues and busts, and they buy figures, there's like a VIP system, and you can earn points from rewards. And if you reach a certain level, you can get like the first batch. But they also send it out to some local influencers, local streamers as well. So that first batch is for them. The other batches will follow, but the factories right now will start to close down for Chinese New Year. So that's probably what's going to be causing like the delay for the bigger batches. The first batch is usually smaller, and then it like increases with each batch that follows.
Gotcha.
Right. Okay, that makes sense, because I know a lot of people have said like, yeah, if it was influencer based, but I saw like there was also people like just people on Facebook saying they were getting invoiced for the sculpted Joker, and so I mean that kind of explains that it's not really just for influencers. But like you said, even if it is in the future batch, I mean if you can answer this question, I'd imagine it would be yes. But for future batches, for people getting it later down the line in 2023, I'm sure it's going to match the exact quality of people who got it this month or last month. Yeah.
That's why they do it in batches. The first batch is always a smaller run, because if there's an issue, they can go back and change it.
Right.
There's still chance. So the first few batches are a smaller run, and then it'll like pick up pace. So the quality has to be the same, but there's always going to be minor differences because of like the tailoring, and a lot of it's done by hand, especially on the hair, that kind of thing. But
there's any QC
on the whole,
issues, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But on the whole, the quality should be pretty high on each one.
Gotcha.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for answering. That's really awesome. I believe Kiko, this one's yours, number 9. Let's go to you. Pull it up here.
So number 9 is, what have you learned from the reaction of fans in the community on the Joker's official release? Simple as that. What are people saying, and what have we learned based on good and bad?
I think on the whole, it's been very positive so far. I think there's still some skepticism because a little bit of confusion on the batch system.
Right.
But there's not a lot we can do about that. But this is our first release. We need to make sure that the quality is the highest possible and the feedback's good. So on our side, as Justin mentioned earlier, everyone's really nervous because this is like our first piece and it's quite pricey. So we want to make it as good as possible and exceed expectations. And there's going to be skepticism because we're a new company. So far the feedback's been good. We just need to keep our heads down, keep working on making sure that each piece is as good as possible and there's a few QC errors.
Awesome, man. Well, that's super exciting because, yeah, I can attest to that. A lot of people in the community, I mean, mostly like 90% of people are saying that you guys really knocked it out of the park. And for people who have it in hand, like Justin and other people, they have the same words. So that's awesome to hear, man. Number 10, I believe, is going to be Justin. So we can throw this up here for you.
Thank you, Riley. So, I mean, this is a bit of a technical, like a weird technical one, but I don't know. Again, 2:00 in the morning, I wrote this. If there were to be LED features incorporated into a suit, so not necessarily like an accessory, but more into the suit of the character, like, I don't know, I keep coming back to Iron Man, but say for instance, Iron Man. Rather than fiddling around with button cell batteries or having a hideous cable plugged into the figure's back somewhere. Would more technologically advanced stuff, like what we see potentially in statues with a single plug-in light up, be possible with figures? Say, for instance, plug in the base with the USB, have the copper coils in the feet of the figure and in the base, power is transferred through wirelessly. We've seen it done before, but is that something that you'd be comfortable sort of investigating, these more technologically advanced things, or do you want to keep it like relatively simple?
Yeah, so at the moment, there's not going to be that many with light up in the figure itself. Maybe Black Adam, yeah.
Maybe.
That's possible. I think we won't. I think one of the things we're trying to do right now is do things differently, like with the magnetic wrist pegs and that kind of thing.
Right.
But some things, when it comes to electronics, sometimes it's not worth the risk immediately, because we found with the statues and busts, sometimes electronics, if you go like check Amazon, anything that's electronic, the return rate's really high because stuff can go wrong with the internal wiring, and then to fix it's really difficult because you have to crack it open, or you have to like figure all that out. How would we fix it if there's any damages? So for right now, we'd probably, if we did anything with lighting, we'd stick to something quite simple. But as we want to innovate and continually improve, we will look into those options. But it will take some R&D, some messing around on our side before we like commit to that.
Okay, totally understandable.
All right, that's
again,
awesome.
That was a bit of an out there one, but you know, maybe one. Maybe
It was
one.
2 a.m.
Yeah, it's a
It
good
was 2 a.m.
question. Yeah, because we want to do that. We do want to do stuff where we want to hear what you guys say. So if it's really annoying that there's a wire, or you've got to take out these button cell batteries, and if you ship to Australia, there's certain button cell batteries you
Oh
can't
my
ship.
god! Don't even get me started.
dude.
No, 100%. Yeah.
It's
I mean, I can
so
speak for
ridiculous.
people. The batteries, when it comes to like the batteries that at least Hot Toys, like we've talked about, produce, like they die out in like 2 minutes. So like, if I were to give you a suggestion, I would try and steer clear of those ones. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, but you know,
Just
thank God
like
for those batteries
AAA.
in Australia, though.
AAA
We got
in
some
the
good
back.
discounts.
Right? Yeah. AAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
I will
point.
say,
this is
yeah,
just
us in the
AAA
US,
in the back.
we benefited, Justin, from you know.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy on the button cell battery thing? So Pop Culture is our like local distributor people. So Hot Toys now is fine. They've got a sticker on the box. You can now buy them. The batteries are just taken out, but everything else is normal. As long as they got the sticker on, apparently that's fine. But anything else, 3-0, Prime 1, even Queen stuff, because Pop Culture sells some Queen stuff, no. Immediately no. Even if I called them and I was like, hey, look, I want to buy this Prime 1 statue. It was God of War. It was Kratos and Atreus.
There you go.
And even the standard version comes with Mimir, with the light-up eyes, right? You can buy the standard one, but not the deluxe. They're the same thing. So I called up and I was like, hey, I want to buy the deluxe one. And they're like, no, absolutely not. There's batteries. And I was like, the standard one has batteries too. And they were like, no, it doesn't. Like, yeah, it does. So what are we going to do? And they're like, oh, it's fine. We'll just take the standard one down too. So if you can't buy the standard one now, I'm sorry, that was my fault.
You ruined it. So basically, what you're saying is
ruined
you ruined it for people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wanted to give them my money, but they just wouldn't take it. But, you know, I guess if you slap the sticker on the box for 1.6, it's fine. But not anything else. I don't know.
Justin, I have to ask you, are you using the magnetic base right now? Because you almost knocked that Joker off. And thank God for the magnetic base.
There we
There we
go.
go.
Changes
See?
everything.
Innovation's already coming into
Innovation.
play.
Pretty sturdy. I mean, I could even flip it. I don't want to flip it upside. He's got the grenades on. They're heavy. I don't know.
I
It's
saw a
funny you
video
say
of
that.
that.
Someone did that. They flipped it
Yeah, they
literally.
flipped it
upside down, yeah.
Still stood.
Oh my god! All right, let's.
So that's like what's that? Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen
The Dairy
Blizzard,
Queen
yeah.
test.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But
You can
yeah,
if you want.
you
Yeah,
can if you want, but
yeah, but I'm not going to. But yeah, that's awesome to hear. But yeah, like you said, that's a suggestion that we'd bring if any of the team can hear that. But yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip
So
mine.
number 11.
You flip it, Carlos. You flip it all the way. You get that done.
Oh my god. Number 11. This is going to be particular with Aragorn. In the Aragorn materials section, I saw it states leather vest, but the trench coat, it doesn't state leather. So I know a lot of community had some concerns about that. What material should we really expect from the trench coat? And even let's say like the Batman figure that we saw at the Vegas event, would the cape be leather? Because I know a lot of people want that for that premium aspect, have that nice quality to not like be everlasting like you've talked about. But yeah, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so the trench coat, I'm not sure yet. I'll get them to update so we need to update our web pages overseas and make sure the materials are confirmed. But like I said, the materials will be like non-degradable. It hopefully as natural as possible. For the Batman cape, I can't remember. Justin, did you remember we talked about it in Las Vegas, right? Was it PVC? Something like that.
Yes, it wasn't. The best way I can describe it is like an almost like a PVC, like an almost plasticky fabric that's not like a double layered like a pleather that's going to peel. I'm trying to think of something that people would know that I can compare it to, but it was kind of like the Batman Beyond material, like that thin sort of a little bit shiny but very durable fabric, and I thought that was perfect. I think leather in 1/6 scale may be too thick and heavy, and it was a wingsuit in the movie. It was supposed to be nylon, so it shouldn't really be leather anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I think as Justin described, because he's seen it as well. So I think it's PVC, but I don't want to say definitively just in case I'm wrong, because it's a while since we talked about that figure. But it is like a 2-layer, and in the middle is the wire. So when we're doing the posing, then that's how you can make it look as though it's flowing in the wind, that kind of thing. So it's not one thin layer, it's like 2 with the wire around the sides. And it's not going to degrade from, I think PVC lasts a really long time anyway, if that's the material, but it's going to be something like that where it's going to last and not flake.
Got it.
It felt very like nylon-esque, like it had a bit of sheen to it. It was perfect. I thought it was perfect.
Got it.
I thought it was awesome.
Awesome, man. Glad to hear, because obviously that's something that makes you guys more unique. So it's really exciting to hear. Will, I believe you're number 12 here.
Yeah, man. And Riley, got a question. I know Lael 1/6 man would be upset with me if I didn't ask this question. So I have to ask John while I have the opportunity. So John, has INART experimented with seamless bodies at all in preparation for figures like Wonder Woman? Because I know that's going to be a new challenge for you guys, considering what you've announced and put out so far. So have you guys done experiments as far as that goes? And also the question, second part of the question, when is the first female figure coming? Because I know Daenerys Wynn was on the list. So Daenerys is going to be on there. And I know, John, there'll probably be some others that come up. But, can you answer both of those for us?
Yeah, so I think the first female characters won't be in Q1 of this year because Chinese New Year's most of Q1. So if we can, maybe Q2, maybe Q3. I can't say which character is going to be first. And then on the seamless bodies, it will be something we want to do. But again, as we mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that everything's right before we release it. So we can't say, definitely, because then if we say that and it's not, then it's going to cause some issues. But they are looking at the key issues. For example, on the Joker's wrist, they're more seamless sometimes, depending on which switch outs you use. So they want to look at your feedback and look at all the pain problems you have with other figures. We want to try and eliminate that with ours. But sometimes there's only so far you can innovate. There's a reason why other companies haven't done it just yet. It just takes some time, and I think we'll get there.
I would say to that, though, the She-Hulk that Hot Toys just put out, they did, seamless, and then the wrists are very, very minimal seam. So it doesn't look like this huge ball that's coming out. You know what I mean? So if you were to look at something, maybe She-Hulk would be a really, really good option, whatever technologies they use there for Wonder Woman. Just, sit there.
Yeah, the factories that we work with are like some of the best in China. So if it's possible, we could do it. It's just, we've got to figure out, can we scale it? Can we do it for every piece and make sure every piece is as good as good quality? Because it's still relative. Not many companies have done it that well at mass. So it's going to take a little bit of time.
Awesome, man. Well, that's super exciting to hear again. Number 13, I believe, is going to be Kiko here. So let's go to pull this up.
Back at it. So number 13, are there any new licenses that INART is targeting or received as of now that you're able to even mention? Could this be the debut of something that you're allowed to say?
Like
so this one I know a little bit more about, but I spoke to the INART director yesterday, and she said, "Don't try to answer this one because we do." Last year we were very open, and it sort of bite you in the back sometimes. I think what we have got some news that there's going to be another company. I think everyone knows stepping into the game this year. So from INART's point of view, we want to stay competitive. I think for a collector point of view, you guys are going to get better figures for the next few years because the competition is going to step up. But because the competition's stepping up, we've also got to keep our cards close to our chest.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you want, just always message us. We keep a record, and if we get asked enough, we'll start putting a plan together. We'll approach the licensor. I can say that there will be anime this year, but I can't say which one just yet.
Dragon Ball Z.
Still developing. We hope so, but I hope so. I can't say yet.
I know
But
you guys are excited about that.
There are a couple of Netflix shows we want to work on as well. There's a few
Chainsaw
different
Man?
things.
Maybe.
I can't say too much just yet. But
Justin
Okay,
just
John.
spoiled it, bro.
I know.
Don't tease us, man.
I know, right?
Nice.
Yeah, that's super exciting though, and I totally understand why the director wouldn't want you saying this. But that's exciting to see that you're getting into these specific lines. But yeah, it's awesome.
yeah, globals are a big part for us because we know there's a lot of collectors around the world. We want to get as many global licenses as possible. So sometimes we might just prioritize those ones as well.
Right.
So we might just drop a few. Just if the problem is that how licensing works is usually you get your domestic market first. So our domestic market is China. They give that to us first, see how we go, and then they expand. And with some of the smaller licenses, it's easier to get global distribution. But we just have to approach each one by one.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that's glad to hear. And Carlos, I believe this one's going to be yours. I mean,
Yep.
I can attest to this. A lot of people are going crazy over this latest Aragorn.
Yep.
I'm sure you've seen, John. A lot of people would even say that it's one of the best 6-scale figures they've seen.
Yeah.
Photo-wise. Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
yeah, Gandalf, like it was a success, but this Aragorn is probably, and I'm gonna say prototype because people out there will listen, but this is the best prototype I have probably ever seen. So hey, kudos to INART. You guys are killing it. The question is, how far are you guys gonna go with this license? And the second question to that would be Sauron. I know that's a massive dude. I know he would be super complex and maybe full of diecast and extremely difficult. So one, how deep are you going to go? And is Sauron even a possibility? Because if it is, I'll sell my Weddle right now. You know what I mean?
Anything's a possibility with us, to be honest. I think if there's a demand and it's not been done before and there's enough people that say that they want it, we'll do it. We just need to find a way how to get that feedback and to know that people that say they want it are actually going to buy it. So that's the challenge. So maybe for like Sauron, something like that, it is a little bit more technically challenging. So we need to make sure that there's a customer base there. So I think they'll figure that out. At the moment, I think the plan is to develop the fellowship, starting with the most popular characters, and then keep building, and then see. Maybe for the hardcore fans, they'll probably want to complete the whole fellowship. But there's some fans that might just want to collect the main characters. So we're also working on that balance as well. So right now, I think the plan is to develop the fellowship and then start working around that to some other pieces. But we've just got to figure out what you guys want and also what you actually want to buy.
For Nazgul, really quick, we know there's supposed to be 9 of them. Has there been a talk of a 3-pack? Are they kind of come with some horses? Because Lord of the Rings is the best trilogy out there, and if you deny it, it's because you haven't seen it.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I
true.
mean?
Us,
Because you
Justin
haven't
can
seen
answer.
it.
I watched the first one. Sorry, I watched half of the first one. I could not watch the rest of it. I did not like it at all.
He likes Naruto, so don't listen
I
to
do not like Naruto. I do not like Naruto either. So you know.
Wow, taking shots.
But Game of Thrones, I finally started watching it. I watched the first one. I was like, and then I was like, I may as well watch the second one. So I watched the second one. I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched the third one, and then I kept going. And now I've almost finished season 1. So Will, you converted me on Game of Thrones, but Lord of the Rings, I just cannot do. I'm so sorry. Everyone, I'm so sorry.
That's a pass.
That's
then.
fair.
You did Game of Thrones, so we're good.
I did Game of Thrones, and when y'all make your Game of Thrones figures, I am so excited to add those to the collection.
Nice.
Steph was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna like Game of Thrones. It's not your thing. You don't like the medieval stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, I know." And then the other day, she saw me looking on eBay for the 3-0 Jon Snow, and she's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, don't judge me, man. You know."
INART freaking Jon Snow would be
Oh,
pretty
dude, I
exciting.
can't wait for that figure.
That's on the line list. That is
Yeah.
on the line list. I'm not
Can't wait
sure
for that.
when, but it's on the line list, Johnson.
Let's get a horse with the Nazgul, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool.
A rooted hair, full horse,
Yeah,
seamless.
Imagine.
Rooted hair Nazgul.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think there's only one right now, but again, feedback's important to us, so we can look at that.
Got it. Okay. So you basically would say, like, you wouldn't confirm you're completing like the entire Lord of the Rings line, but if collectors would say that they wanted to, for people who have questions for it, then maybe you will end up doing that down the line. Yeah.
From the line list from last year, the whole line's not completed yet, but that doesn't mean we won't, because usually you do it year by year, and then you continue to renew your license. And there's only so many characters and figures we can develop in 1 year, so they're starting on the most popular ones. And then if things keep going well and there's a demand, just next year we'll add it into our line list and develop it. That's generally how it works. But we need the feedback from collectors.
Let me say this. People are trying to get Aragorn, even people who don't even like Lord of the Rings because of how you guys have killed it.
True.
Because it looks amazing. If Gandalf was great. It was a good figure. Aragorn was just like God tier, honestly.
Yep.
And then if Legolas comes out anywhere near that, I think people are going to be like, shit. Like, we want Lord of the Rings line because of how much you guys are going to kill it.
Right.
Like, if, you know, like Gandalf is great, Aragorn, like, dude. And then Legolas, game over, honestly. So I think people will love it, in my opinion. So,
yeah, Legolas is one of the most like popular from the Fellowship, so it's probably one that we're working on right now. But I don't know the order, all that kind of thing just takes time.
Yeah.
But the whole line, whether we'll develop the hobbits and Gollum and all that kind of stuff, that's still up for debate internally. And
right. Because I mean, I Justin and a lot of other people know I'm not a Lothar guy either, but I can appreciate greatness like that.
Again, he watched Clone
Me too.
so you
I
can't
think
really
it looks
listen to
incredible.
him.
John, he texted the whole time he watched Game of Thrones. Lord of the Rings, so it doesn't really count.
Oh, it was a little. I was getting a little bored. There's a lot of talking. All right. Let's get off topic.
All right.
Riley, I was on a plane and I couldn't even convince myself to sit down and watch the rest of it. So, I literally had nothing else to do. I was stuck on a plane. People are going to absolutely abuse me.
It's fine, dude.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Can't listen to them. They're like Clone Wars. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. But number 15, Justin, this is going to be you for the last question on our end. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yes. So Will was kind of alluding to this earlier, but say, for instance, you were buying the deluxe Rooted Hair 2-pack of Joker or anything else in the future that you do a Rooted Hair version, but people still want the option potentially for a Sculpted Hair one, so you're not really having to do that step up, because I know when we spoke in Vegas, that was the issue. It's like, well, Rooted Hair is expensive to do, it's timely, it's, you know, when you go in terms of the factory, having to use the tweezers and style it and everything, it's costly to do. So the 2-pack, from a value perspective, makes more sense. But what about Sculpted? So maybe like an add-on purchase with the Rooted Hair, if you want the Sculpted Hair as well, you can just tack that on. Is that something potentially that could happen, or is it just we want to separate them out? Rooted is its own thing, Sculpted is its own thing. If you want the Sculpted, you got to buy that separately.
Or vice
I mean, like a switch out head.
Correct. Yes, like not just as a freebie, like a gimme, just throw it in, but as an add-on, a DLC, if you will.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Has anyone else done that before?
No, you'd be the first.
See, innovation.
And that's why nobody
There you
does.
go.
We look into it for sure. I think this question, because we only received it like yesterday, it's difficult to say say yes or no. But we've done it with statues, and it depends also how it works, because it's got to fit on each one. And sometimes what we don't want to happen is if it doesn't fit, like there could be issues with that.
Okay.
So maybe we could also include like a small display base for the head,
a mini bust
as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That'd be
that's possible. It's definitely possible, and it's something we'd look into for sure. Now that we've got the question, and if we can see how it works and see what collectors think about it, if it's not been done before, I'm sure someone's done it, but I don't think any license companies have done it. So it's something we'd look into.
Yeah, because it can be a shame to know if you have such a good head sculpt, and if you know, like the Pennywise, right? Like maybe we do get like a little bust, right? So that we can use both. Maybe not a whole like 2-pack, because no one's as weird as Will, where they're gonna want 2 Pennywises.
Yeah,
maybe just enough to get a bust so they can show it. Like I think that would be pretty cool. Not for all figures, but for some figures, I think that'd be a cool option.
Yeah, I'm sure it's possible, and I'm sure that it's something we'd look into, and we could even start designing. Maybe that's the route we go down with the Joker, 2019 Joker.
Okay.
That'd be cool. Little
But
bump.
it's still, I'm not sure that's just me spitballing, but
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's
I get it.
possible. And we could do it. We've done it with statues, and some collectors don't like us referencing statues because they're different. But if it's
Right.
been done before, and we can do it and include like a small base, which is like a bust, so you can
Right.
take the head out, put it on there, and then display next
No,
to each other with like the. I think
You're
it could be
exactly
done.
right.
I
That's an
have
amazing
one as
idea.
an example. Hang on.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Justin can show it. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of other companies who do this,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
know a
it's
lot
like
of
a-
people would be happy about it.
It's like a third party.
Because everyone's so annoyed with leaving them in the box.
Yeah,
Now you got
that's
a mini
the-
boss.
Honest, I
A
forget the
little-
name. Who does this?
This one's a light up one, but it's a little
I'll scroll it out.
a little mini guy. Pop your head
Yeah,
sculpt
yeah,
on.
like
There you
that.
go.
Who
Yeah,
does this
exactly.
again? I forget.
Yeah. That is
Apollo Toys is the
Apollo
maker of
Toys, there
this
you go.
guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
But this one's a light up one. There's other Spider-Man ones and whatnot as well.
Yeah. That's something to look into, John. That's what I'd say, because that'd be really awesome. But yeah.
Yeah, it's something that we'll suggest. Now that we've got the question, I think I might even be working on it, but there's a lot of stuff. The artists are always working on stuff, and the other team, but it's just so busy right now. Try and make sure this Joker comes out good and Aragon.
Exactly.
That kind
Right
of
before
stuff,
Chinese
so-
New Year, right? Makes total sense
Yeah.
for sure.
It's crazy now because Chinese New Year is going to shut down, so we have to get everything finished in this next week or two. So.
Right. Okay. Well, that's all of our questions on our end. I wanted to get a little bit into the chat's questions if they have any. If I can do that really quick, if you're still have some time, John.
Yeah, a few more minutes. Yeah.
All right, for sure. Yeah, of course. Well, the first one from Ant. I got Ant Collectibles here. The Joker is beautiful. Any hopes for a Two-Face, Harvey Two-Face? Did you guys look into that?
It's not in the line plan right now. I think Batman will develop first. Maybe some of the other villains. I'm sure. I'm hoping for a Bane personally. Two-Face would be cool as well. But
Yeah.
it's not in the line plan right now. But if enough people are behind it, we could make it.
Okay.
I'm in on a
And we
Bane
got-
for sure.
Yeah, I know a
Me
lot
too.
of people. Seamless.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Retro Mando says, "Is the Ben Affleck Batman still in the works? And please be the Batman versus Superman Batman suit."
Yeah, it's still in the works, but I'm not sure which suit right now. I've just seen it written down on the line list, so it should
Okay.
still be in the works.
Okay. Hot Toys Hotline, Harry Potter updates, plans for more in the line. Do you guys have like an idea of what movie the Harry Potter would be from, but exactly?
I'm not sure. I think for Harry Potter, we want to do something a little bit more different. So I think we want to make some figures, but there's another thing we want to do, like a separate sub brand, essentially. And they're working on that right now. I know that we're going to make some statues this year, third scale. So
Okay.
that's the license we're working on, but I can't
For
say
sure.
when and what it's going to be.
Got it. Nick Collectibles here. Shout out to Nick. More horror IPs, Michael Myers in particular, because I know you guys have talked about you're big horror
cool.
fans there in the company. So yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, with that one, I think they'll assess how Pennywise went and see what's in like the Warner family, and we could start working on there before going for new licenses from like other like movie companies. So
Do
I
you
think
know if
that's the-
Pennywise did well overall or no? Or can you?
I think it was
answer?
okay. I think
Okay.
we got more interest after we displayed it in Thailand.
100%.
A lot more people are interested then, but it's still quite a niche market.
Yeah, because
Damn
creepy
well.
as fuck.
Come on.
Nah,
Yeah,
bro.
more
Everyone,
love
guys,
for him.
pre-order Pennywise. Prove John wrong here. We all need to make Pennywise a mass thing.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. Big Dog Pound one says, "Are we going to get Gal Gadot Wonder Woman?" I believe that's on the line list. Harley
Yeah.
Quinn, Margot Robbie, and Zoe Kravitz Catwoman. So those are two new ones. Would you guys look into those?
Yeah, I think female characters in general tend to do pretty well, but the challenge is the hair and the likeness. It's like sometimes I've seen a
Totally.
few different
Yeah.
figures where it's like it just looks like a weird doll. So I think we've got to make sure
Right.
it's perfect.
Real.
You've got to really work hard on that. So we're not going to rush those figures out right now. I think to make sure it's. I think
Right.
when we've made a figure like Aragon, it also puts pressure on us to continue that streak. So
Yeah.
I think that's what we're going to do, especially with these ones.
Okay, well, that's super exciting for sure. Toys News Quarterly, you spoke of reward points for longtime buyers. Can we do a register your product feature to track purchases for those of us who
Yes.
have to buy through retailers? That's a good
I
question.
would be a VIP. instantly.
Do a register product features to track purchases from those who have bought through retailers. Yeah, that's possible in the future. Right now, we can't do that for various reasons. But once we get more global licenses and we're working directly with big distributors, it all depends on what they'll share with us. Some companies don't want to share their customer base because they'll think that we'll take them. Even though we work together, they won't want to share that information. So a lot of the retailers have their own point systems anyway. So if we can do it, we'll try and figure out a way, but it's a challenge because they don't want to share data. And also there's data protection laws as well. It gets a bit sketchy, especially like California state laws and European laws and that kind of thing.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Taxes, bro.
Taxes, man. Jason says Shazam. Is that any possibility, a Shazam figure? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think so right now. I've not seen it on the line list, but the Shazam 2 is coming out soon, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see how that goes and see basically.
I do hope, John, that you end up getting the John Wick 4 license. I'm not saying you have to tell us, but please rescue us from Hot Toys.
So
Us, please.
that one in particular, I was contacted by a guy that represents, doesn't represent, works with MGM, and it's a possibility we could get that license.
Nice.
So we want to hear basically. We've already done like a Keanu Reeves sculpt for Matrix 4, which his hairstyle is very similar to John Wick anyway. So I think like the sculpt we've already started working on. We just need to make a few changes, of course. So if people are interested in John Wick, now is the time to message us, tell us exactly what you want. Go into the INART group, share some different concepts you've seen from stills from the movie and any accessories, that kind of stuff. And it will give us the confidence to approach the licensor and put the money down.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I know a lot of people would totally go for a John Wick. That'd be a good one to grab.
100%, man. Especially if you like,
Yeah, and another off the top question. I know you guys statue wise, I believe, are going into the Terminator line. Is there any way that you guys can do 6 scale like Terminator figures? Because I know that would be a big franchise for people.
So I think we spoke when we went to the US. We spoke with the licensor, and they want to see how our development goes with the bust that we're releasing this year. We're going to release a bust, and I think the plan. So don't quote me on this, but the plan for the bust is it's going to have a robotic arm as well, so the arm can come down.
Okay.
I don't think that's ever been done before, so we're working on that.
Not?
And then if that works out, I think we'll look at 1.6. Hopefully, no one. But this is why we don't want to talk about it. Maybe someone comes in and steals it from us.
Right.
We're looking at it.
because I know your Terminator bust. It's like a really sought after, right? It's like it was done.
Our original, we did it
like
5 years ago.
It's like
but this one's got to be different. Yeah, the last one had like a battle damage face.
Right.
This one's full facial lightness, and because a lot of people don't like reissues, like figure collectors, we've got to do something different. So that's why we're looking into like robotics and stuff like that and see how it goes.
That's cool, man.
Okay, that's awesome.
Copy the idea, J&D.
Yeah, stay away. But Marco, I believe, and I'm guessing this has to do with Zach as well from Collecting Weekly. Any news on updates to Gandalf, the beard and pants length being the biggest areas? I know Collecting Weekly had a lot of concerns with that. What do you think?
Yeah, there's no feedback from me just yet. I'll ask them today. I'll just say, is there an announcement we can share? And I think the best way to do it is just message the Facebook admin and just ask for an announcement, and then they'll publish an announcement when we're ready. We spoke about it with the team in Thailand, and we mentioned the length and this, and also a few other issues that collectors brought up, and they said that they'll share an announcement when they're ready. But as we mentioned, the focus is making sure Joker ships on time, and the Aragon, everything works out for that, because that was our next pre-order.
Okay, for sure. Really quick. I know a lot of people. There's people even sending money saying they would go down the John Wick line. A lot of people said they want pre-order it, so it's definitely a one to look for. Also, Black Tom Cruise, what a name. When figures get old, the ankle joints become weak. Do you think that will become a problem to your figures because they don't have crotch grabbers? I believe that's what he's saying.
Yeah, it's difficult to answer because we've not been making figures that long, and
Right.
it happens with other companies' figures. So I'm not sure. I'd have to ask the team and see
Right.
what they think, because if that's a common question, maybe we'll put it on the website in like an FAQ. What happens if this? What happens if that? I can't
Right.
answer right now. But based on your guys' experience, what do you think on this? Have you guys got any experience?
I mean, Justin, you can attest.
Yeah,
I mean, you
Justin's
have the
probably
figures.
the
so-
Yeah,
aficionado.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can say that it depends on a couple of things. Number one, not all old figures have loose ankles. I have some really old Hot Toys that have really sturdy ankles. Just depends on the design, how they put the ankles together. Also depends on how much you pose it. But this Joker has some of the strongest ankle pegs I have ever felt. Like, they feel super sturdy. So I am pretty confident that it's not going to just, like I said in the review, like do a Michael Jackson and just lean forward over time. So I think it's going to be a non-issue. But I guess if you mess around with it every minute of every day and you loosen the heck out of those ankle joints, it may be. But as far as I'm aware, and as far as I'm concerned, this is very, very sturdy. So I don't think it's going to be a problem.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to answer because there's so many variables. Like we
Right.
get these questions about a lot of, like, oh, how long will this last? How long will that last? It depends on the person, how you care for it, where you put it.
You can
Lots of different things. So you can't give an exact time, really. It's
Right.
But
No.
Justin's got an in-hand piece and he's got a lot of figures, so he probably knows a lot more.
Right.
you can hear how tight those joints are, right?
Tight's good.
Yeah, there you go. You,
Yeah.
you got the little sound.
Like
there we
they
go.
are
Okay.
so sturdy. So I think it's
Right.
be okay.
And the magnetic base, I'm sure, is going to help keep it stable. I'm sure. So yeah, it's awesome.
correct.
Super awesome. Fig Fate said, "How many figures per year will INART announce? Do you have any ideas on that?"
That one's a real challenge, because I think one thing is don't want to do is just rush into everything. So last year we announced a lot of figures and we probably only sold 4, maybe 5 last year. This year we'll probably want to scale up a little bit, but we still want to make sure the quality is good for each piece. So I don't think we'll rush it right now. Eventually we could get to the level where we're making quite a few different releases each year, maybe 20, maybe 30, but I'm not sure this year. It depends on how things go. We want to make sure the quality is high, especially the prices some of the figures sell for. So it's very difficult to answer. It depends on a lot of different things.
For sure. And some Nick Collectibles also said, "Make Rocky Balboa, please
Yes.
save us from Star Race." So Rocky Balboa,
Yes.
is that anything you've
Yes.
kind of looked into?
So we got contacted by a guy from the Stallone shop a few years ago, and he works, basically, he's got the rights. He works with Sylvester Stallone, but it looks like they're making their own figures now. So maybe you guys have seen that, the Rambo that they made. I think they've made 2 Rambo figures. I think Justin, they approached you, right, for a review?
Yes, I reviewed the First Blood Rambo. Apparently, Sly picked me and Dean Knight to review that figure, so I reviewed that. They're also making a Cobra, but the licensing for Rocky is weird, because Sly has said multiple times that he doesn't have the rights, or he wants the rights back, or I don't know what's going on with the Rocky stuff, so I don't think that he has what he needs to make Rocky figures. I could be wrong, but that's why you see Star Race trying their best. So
On
Creed maybe even a step
Dude.
close to Rocky adjacent, if you will. But how are there not figures for Creed and Rocky? Like, come on, these are iconic characters and iconic franchises. So I would be in like a diorama boxing ring display base, like a corner, and then you could connect the 4 corners and have the boxing ring. Come on.
Good idea.
Speaking of Star Race, please, and I'm not saying you need to tell us. I'm not saying you need to tell us. But look, I bought a custom sculpt. Justin has one. Riley's over here getting custom stuff too. We desperately need the boys. Do whatever you gotta do.
They tried.
You know what I mean? Buy out Star Race if you need to.
Buy out
But you-
Star
you-
Race.
We need the boys done by INART.
Yeah, we
Star
do.
Race.
Yeah, we
It's a
contacted
crime.
last year. We contacted the company that got the licensing for Peaky Blinders, and also we contacted the people that do licensing for The Boys. The challenge is that if there's a company already making that product in that figure, then it's not easy to get the licensing, especially
Trickier,
global.
yeah.
Okay.
So maybe they might give it us for China, but for sometimes, if the money that they want, especially for certain, like Rocky, we couldn't do that for China. We'd have to do global. So we need to make sure that we get in the right license for the right price. And if there's another figure company making it, it's not easy to get the license.
But wouldn't the figure company or the license be like, look what Star Ace is making, and be like, we gotta take away the license from them immediately. You know what I mean?
We need
like,
to punish them.
like now you owe us money for letting you use the license. You know what I mean? Like,
and I don't even think the boys would need a worldwide. It would be great, but I mean, as long as you can just get it as a license, I think collectors would.
We'll find a way.
Money.
We will get it.
We'll find a way to get the figure.
Yeah. Even if you just license it to like a city or something, we will get it.
Yeah, right.
Find a way.
To be honest, though,
one town.
The companies that are the best are Warner and Disney, because they're people they hire to do the jobs like development and give us like the licensing. They know the products and the characters inside out. They've been working in the industry for years and years. We spoke to the guy at DC. He knows everything about figures. He's developed his own line, all that kind of stuff. But with some of these other licenses like Rocky and other characters and the boys, it's just someone working in an office. They just want to see the numbers. And if Star Race are making good sales, then that's all they care about. So
I doubt it.
They don't really care.
Maybe discount sales, but that's it.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll see. If we can, we'll go back when their license is up. We can go back. But
for sure.
Just
okay.
That's one of the challenging parts of the job is the licensing, because it's all about money and connections, that kind of thing.
I think so after Starlight, I'm pretty sure the boys' license is gonna get taken away from them.
You would think so, because like they get really mad. Like some of these licenses get really mad. It's like, how dare third party make these characters? And then they're like, Star Race, you got the license, son.
This is true.
What the hell?
Expect?
You left the door open. Like, what the hell? Like, what's going on?
This is such a horrible.
It's very odd. It's very.
It looks like if like Riley did it or something. Just,
oh my god, yeah, that's totally what it looked like, Carlos. Some guy said, "Congrats on such a great Joker, John. Do you collect, and who is your favorite character?"
That's good.
Question for you.
Yeah, so the collection thing, I've not really got many pieces. I've got like a Shaun of the Dead thing from NECA at work, and I've got a few different little vehicles and stuff. I've not got the space for statues and busts, so figures is probably something I'll start on. It's a good entry level, but I think characters definitely, like Peaky Blinders, I wanted that for me, so I was pushing for that.
Yeah, I bet.
Bane,
that's awesome.
Bane as
Bane
well.
would be
I think
cool.
if we made anything with Bane, I'd buy that. So those are the two I really want.
Yeah, for sure. And Samuel, for the last question here, how about a figure from Superman Returns? Would that be possible? Any like original stuff? Would you guys look into?
So the original stuff, like we always get asked about Keaton, Batman, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Our primary market's China, so those early movies from the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, if it's most movies really hit after like, that's why the Heath Ledger character is so big, because in 2008, that's when people started going to movies and started getting more Western films. There's obviously films before then, some classics like Terminator, but the movie industry is a lot younger here, so getting some earlier stuff is a little bit more challenging because the market's not there. If it's newer stuff, it's easier to sell.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I mean, I'll right there wrap up that whole interview there. John, thank you again for joining, man. This is really important because I know a lot of people had questions regarding the INART Joker release and just INART announcements in general. So it's awesome that you're kind of following back on that, and having you feature on the channel for the first time was definitely a pleasure for me. But anything you have to say before you head out of here, man?
Yes. So I think if there's anything I didn't answer well enough, just message the Facebook Messenger account. We've got someone that's just basically their job's to sit there all day and answer questions. So keep them busy. Make sure they're getting paid their money, and they'll be able to answer you. The other thing, really, from my point of view, is like Riley, you went to the Vegas event as well as Justin. Yeah. So, like, what was your thoughts on that, and how can we improve?
Well, for one thing, I could say I had a great time being there. I mean, something you can improve, I'd say.
Behind the scenes.
Of course you did. You broke the law.
Yeah, broke the law. No, but it was a really great event. What I'd say, like a suggestion, like I said, like keep doing those events. That's what I'd say, because I think that generates so much traction. And if you can even get to like a convention, like with giving out an idea, like San Diego or New York Comic Con, like that would
Don't do them in Vegas. Don't do it. Don't do
right.
it in Vegas.
Yeah, I would do them really. Yeah, and I'd suggest doing them in LA. I think me and Carlos can attest to that. That would be really awesome.
We'll give you the keys to the keys to the kingdom for sure.
While you're at it, come to Australia too. Just
Australia.
They're close to China, so you want to come.
Don't
down
bring any
here.
batteries though.
Don't
let you out.
Don't you dare bring any batteries straight to jail. No.
Straight to jail.
Straight to
No
jail.
questions asked.
But yeah, that event was a lot of fun, and like I said, it's for a suggestion. Keep doing those, because a lot of people got super excited seeing them in person. That's what I'd say.
Awesome. Yeah, so our plans this year, I don't know if you've heard of the convention Monsterpalooza. That's around the California, LA region. I'm not sure where in LA. Maybe
I think I actually
Pasadena.
do know where that is. Yeah.
Pasadena Convention Center, maybe.
Okay.
But that's not in LA, right? It's just outside.
It's outside.
So we're looking there for June, and then New York Comic Con this year. Hopefully, we'll go to.
Hey.
Hopefully the big companies are going to go this year. That's really what's on our side. So
that drives it for you guys. Okay.
Yeah, we're planning
Pasadena.
on Monsterpalooza in June, and then New York Comic Con. San Diego Comic Con is really hard to get into because there's like a 10-year waiting list, and waiting list basically is you're waiting for someone else to drop out, and who's going to drop out of San Diego Comic Con? So we'll probably have like an event that goes with Monsterpalooza, like a small fan get-together gathering, like collectors, like just like what we did in Vegas, and then we're aiming for New York Comic Con as our big, hopefully more global licenses. So hopefully you guys will see more of our figures this year, more licensed stuff in US, Australia, and around the world. That's our plan.
And Daenerys is going to be on the next one, correct? Good.
I'm with you, Kiko. I'm with you.
John,
Gotta be seamless though. Gotta be seamless. Gotta be seamless.
Yeah, which outfit would it be? I don't know. Well,
that's the question.
Find out. But Justin, do you have any suggestions for the Vegas event? I know he asked you as well. What did you think about it, man?
Well, I guess I'm a little bit biased because I roamed the strip with John with the
with the Tom Holland.
John is way too nice, can I just say? People were stopping, they were screaming and stopping for photos, and John was like stopping and like holding the bus. I was like, John, I don't have time for this. We need to go. Like, come on, let's go.
This is America. We don't stop for people.
No, never.
Come on.
Well, John felt like a celebrity, bro. He couldn't. He got to take it in.
True.
Well, he was holding Tom Holland. He probably looked like he was hugging Tom Holland. But no, seriously, I really enjoyed that event. I would love to see something down here, but I don't know if that's possible. I would love to come to you. So I'm actually planning on going to Hong Kong February, March, maybe. And then, it's only a hop, skip, and a jump to get to China. So maybe I'll come and do some filming, and we'll little factory tour or something. I don't know. We'll work it out.
So basically China's opened up this year. So from last weekend, China's open now. So people can come to China. So there's a massive event in October called Wonder Festival, which is founded in Japan originally, but the China Wonder Festival is pretty huge. And because it's in Shanghai, it's only a 2-hour drive. I think that's when you'll see most of our figures this year.
Pack your bags.
Oh,
so
I'm going.
If anyone flies out, just send me a message on Facebook, and we'll be a personal guide, show you around.
You pick us up in
I've
a
never
limo?
been there,
tickets.
so I'd need a guide for sure if I ever did. But again, man, John, thank you for joining in for this long time. Really do appreciate it. It's awesome having you on the channel for the first time. Hopefully we can do this again. But yeah, man, thank you. Really appreciate it. We're actually doing an INART Joker giveaway this hour, any minute now. I don't know if we mentioned that, but it's for our Facebook group that we have. So yeah, that's also another exciting thing. But yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure, and hopefully answered everyone's question, and hope to see you guys again next time.
Absolutely. Thanks, man.
Of course, man. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Cheers, guys.
See you soon, John.
Thanks. Bye.
Peace. All right, man. Well, we had John from Queen Studios
Let's
in the building.
spin the fucking wheel.
Yeah, we gotta go. I know Kiko's got a bedtime.
I know,
Probably
right?
I know.
we
I'm
gotta
fading, y'all.
Yeah,
I know. I was gonna
Kiko's
say,
fading
I
fast.
saw you looked a little tired. But let me
Daenerys
pull it
win?
up.
That'll perk me back
What-
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
See,
what
I
do you
knew I
guys
would
think?
get you.
What did you guys think about the John being here, man? Did you like any of the answers he gave?
Dude, absolutely, man.
I heard that John Wick is coming. That's all I know.
That sounded like John Wick was coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
And it
so.
sounds like Dragon Ball Z is coming because he's at anime,
does.
and that was
Oh,
the number
come on.
one.
You got to.
It's got to be
got-
Dragon Ball.
Gotta-
yeah.
And it was like the number one thing for anime was Dragon Ball Z.
I thought when you
Pokemon.
guys were at the Vegas event, I remember like at least being covered where they were saying Terminator 2 was gonna happen for 1/6. Or did I hear that incorrectly?
I think he meant
statues, I thought.
statues.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
license.
not confirmed.
License.
for
Okay,
6.
because
I know
thought-
Michael Jackson was confirmed for 6 scale.
Yeah,
That
because it
was
seemed like
huge,
for
man.
sure Terminator
Huge.
2 was gonna happen for 1/6, maybe eventually, but I thought it was like a definite thing. But I guess
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Bruce Lee was a thing, I believe, as well.
Oh yeah,
Bruce
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was actually one of them. That would be cool. That would be
Yeah.
really
dude,
cool.
I can't wait until Star Ace loses the license, though. I know it's gonna happen.
I don't know.
I
if
don't think
Amazon
they will
cares.
though. They
Yeah.
have an iron grip on that license. I don't know how, but they do. They
No one
paid
even.
someone.
Who's buying their figure at this
Nobody.
point?
They are so bad, Carlos. That
Yeah.
Homelander. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you the Starlight, dude? I was like, I don't. What is this, Barbie?
I think
You
I
know?
think that was the
I'm
funniest.
not reviewing anymore. Maybe I should just so that I can let people
Honestly, you
know
should,
how
Justin.
bad
That was
they
the funniest review you've ever put out, bro. I like watched that. I was like, I've never seen Justin like act like
So
this. I was like,
disappointed. Yeah.
yeah, I know. He was like, I don't know what this is.
I don't know what to
I
say.
genuinely did not like the way that it was put together. Like it was a Fison body, but then they stuck some abs with double-sided tape on the Fison body, and then painted the neck of the Fison body that immediately peeled because you can't paint silicon because the only thing that sticks to silicon
Right,
is silicon.
right.
And they didn't use silicon-based paint because I guess I don't mean to speak ill of people at Star Race, but whoever painted that is a moron because you cannot use acrylic or enamel paint on silicon. You just cannot. It's a law, like a physics.
Morons.
So
It's a
I
figure
don't
law.
know, and it wasn't even the right color. Like the neck was a completely different color to the head. There was
Idiots.
so many things wrong with that. I don't even want to go there.
Fucking noobs.
There we go. Immediate disappointment. But right now we're gonna do. I mean, what should we wait like maybe a minute or two, Carlos? But we're gonna be doing the INART Joker
Nah.
giveaway that we have planned. Should we just do it, man? It's
Let's
do it.
just do it, yeah. And then, hey, they
We'll
have
do
to
it.
be here though. So if you're
you
not
guys
here,
have to be here, so we need to come. But
That's
I'll
what you
just.
pick fate.
I mean,
Yes.
Carlos, can you briefly talk about this? I know Kiko did the video,
yeah.
but can you just
So
talk
we partner with Kiko to do a single pack sculpted in our Joker. So we're gonna give that away. So you had to follow us on their Facebook group and comment on Kiko's video as to why you wanted this figure. So we're gonna be giving that away. However, the first 2 people we select won't win the figure. They're gonna win a $25 gift card to Sideshow. The third person we select,
Pretty
who is,
lit.
and you must be here, they will win the in our Joker. So
Right. Okay, well,
Let's,
we have it right
uh,
here. There's 216 entries. I took off some because these people, unfortunately, Bob Darcy and Ricardo, they did it after the 10-day cutoff. So I had to click the exclusion.
One of those
but-
people was pretty upset. They said that in the comments, they was like, "This is closed. Why is this closed?" I was like, 10 days.
There was
man.
10
That's what I-
days.
That's what I
That's
said.
what it
Why?
is.
Why
Yeah.
is this closed?
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. And the other
this is
names
how it-
obviously
how it goes.
is ourselves, so we don't want to
Right.
we don't want ourselves to win. But if our name does show up, we'll obviously spin it again. But that's
Yeah.
the ones I had to remove, unfortunately. But,
So this one will
yeah.
be for the $25.
So we're doing that first. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that first, and then they have to be here for that too. So hopefully,
Okay.
if they're here, if they're not, we'll spin it
Yeah,
again.
let's just spin it for the 25. Let's see.
Spin it, baby.
Where's
Frederick
the wheel?
Venus.
Oh,
There we
$25
go.
gift card. Are they here?
Commented the Heath. He was hunted on the Heath. Frederick, are you here, man? Let's see it. Let's see. If
Imagine he's like, I won. Yeah, $25.
I know.
not the Joker.
I don't. Yeah, big fate's I gotta go to the
anything, man.
movies. Nice.
On Facebook, it's happening now here on YouTube and on Facebook. It's streaming at the same time.
Mhm.
right. on
I don't
both.
see him.
I don't see him, man.
What's his name?
I have to
again?
Where's this wheel that we're
Frederick.
talking about?
Okay, so it's not a wheel per se, but it's a.
Okay. It's a
it's called
generator.
YouTube.
Comment picker.
Yeah,
There are
generator.
wheels turning, in the background.
Yeah, you can see a
That's
little.
fair. I'll give you that.
Not here. Let's spin
Yeah,
it
I don't
again,
see
bro.
him because I'm typing in the ad symbol. I don't see him.
Yeah,
Okay.
By
so
the
we
way, Kiko, a friend of mine, he's kind of like my accountant, but also my friend. he is obsessed with your channel, and every time I see him or go to his house, he's like, "That Kiko guy, he's way better than you, Justin." I'm like,
I don't know about that.
okay,
I'll
he's like,
take the
his
subscribe.
voice is just so much better than yours, and I'm like, okay,
His
Hey,
voice.
that's
is
regional. That's regional. That's.
I will.
Yeah, it's
let him
regional.
know- I will let him know that I got to stream with you today. He'll
But
be
all
very
I know is that
happy.
most people say they prefer something other than an American accent. So you have the
Oh,
one
really?
up. Yes, people
Women
love
definitely
Someone
do.
said,
You
yeah,
guys
for
both
real.
have great voices, to
Yeah.
be fair.
Yeah.
someone said recently I didn't sound Australian enough, and I was like, I don't know how to like. I can, but you probably wouldn't want to hear me like dial that up because it might sound like a caricature of an Australian because
Yeah.
like I don't
Right,
really
right,
have
right.
that super heavy Australian accent, and I'm sorry if I don't sound Australian enough for you. Anyone?
Exactly. All right,
right,
let's
let's
Wow.
pick another winner.
So sorry for
spin it
Frederick.
again. Sorry,
Oh,
Frederick.
Frederick. God damn it.
Renz,
Renz,
$25
himself.
here.
Is Renz
$25
here?
is Ren's here? I think
I don't think
saw
I've
him.
seen him
here, bro.
I
tonight.
thought I did.
No, I can. He's at, so he's showing up in the at symbol. So
Is Ren's
Okay.
here?
Ren's-
Renz,
$25 gift card.
$25.
To reclaim it.
Renz is here. Renz is here. I see him.
He's here. Is he here?
Okay.
He just
Okay,
placed
all
him,
right.
yo.
Well,
Yeah, Renz is
hold
here.
on. I just got an.
He was here. Oh yeah, there he is.
Ren's
There he
stepped
goes.
in, yo.
All right,
Yeah,
all right,
he's
he's
here.
here.
he's
All right,
here.
awesome,
Okay.
Renz. So you got
Awesome.
$25 sideshow gift card. I'll send it your way, but congrats to you, bro.
Awesome.
That is awesome.
Let's
Should we-
go.
let's roll it again to do another
Yep.
$25.
Another
right?
$25.
Who's getting it this time?
Spin away.
DJ Scribbles. What a name. Did he get? Is he here? Is he here? Type his name in the
DJ
chat.
Scribbles.
DJ Scribbles.
DJ Scribbles. Let's test it. I don't see him.
You know what's funny is that if we wouldn't have done these gift cards, these people would have won the Joker.
know.
And they're like,
Yeah. Renz.
Renz is
Renz
like, God
would've won
damn
the
it.
Joker. Yeah. But you
Fuck
could
the
win again.
gift
I
card.
took off the setting where they can not get one again. I took it off.
I do
so.
find it pretty remarkable though how many people will enter and then not show up for the final step.
Right.
I know.
Like-
it's like we
He
told them
did.
when it was. And this
Well,
is a
exactly.
fairly open time.
I don't know if you saw that, Justin. Like my Moduspace giveaway, dude. We spun it 4 times. 3 people were not there.
Oh,
Like so,
Damn.
there were people who lost out on 2 6 110 Magi cases because they weren't there.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
That's
All right, spin it again, bro. He's not here.
it's crazy.
All right.
And these are gift cards, but still,
You're gonna be,
no money.
you're gonna be
Well,
here to
this
win
would have been the
thing.
Joker. They don't know that.
Yeah, it's true.
Tim Harvey. Is Tim Harvey here?
Harvey.
Come on.
Tim Harvey.
Let's see here. Let's do the same thing Will did on his Magi Space. We'll only run it if we hit 200 likes. Because I guess Will wanted to
Yeah, I know.
So
Well, it
anyone
wasn't
watching,
even me.
you
It was the
got it.
panel. It was the panel cheering.
Right.
It was me, to be
204
fair.
people. Thank you guys for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, check out all of these guys' channels. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all of these guys here, except for Carlos.
Who won? Was it
That's
Tim?
Oh yeah, I don't have a channel.
Tim. Is Tim
I don't-
here?
I don't
Let's
see him.
fucking do it. Let's. Okay, let's
All
go
right,
ahead. Spin
let's
it
just
again.
Let's just spin it again. Yeah. Okay. Another $25. Who's getting it? Steven
Steve.
Threadgill. Is he here?
Oh,
It's gonna last forever. Just no one's gonna be here.
I don't see him.
Is he not
Dude,
here? Steven. Oh my god. This
He
the
said he
INART
loved my
Joker's-
dogs, though. That's a plus.
Oh, that's so sweet of him.
Nice.
He's not here though, man.
dang, dude.
Slacking.
Should we just? I don't know. Should we just spin again? Is he not here?
Yeah, I just spin it again.
I don't see him. Yeah.
Okay.
Guess no one
Yeah.
wants these things.
Dude, I know, right? Come
I
on,
should have
man.
entered.
For real.
That's what I'm saying. Put our names back
Open
in.
if you got him. Is he here?
Smoke
I-
him if
Smokey
you got
up,
him.
I
He's
saw him,
got
I
to
saw
be
him right
here.
now.
Yeah, he's
I
got
saw
He's
him.
right there.
Okay.
All right, just make sure he texts us so that.
Yeah. So message both of us. It was Smoke if you got him, and then the first one, Ren. So you guys both got $25 codes, and the final one. Everyone,
Here
you
it
gotta, you gotta
is.
hit-
Hold on.
gotta hit the like-
I want to make
you
sure
have
he's
to
here.
look at the
There
like
he is. He's
button
there.
first,
Yeah, he's here.
'cause, we're not doing it unless we get 600 likes. So
This is for the Joker, everybody.
this is
correct?
the joke.
This is
Whoever
for the
comments in
Joker.
it is
Let's
here.
go.
So to confirm, wait, but before you spin it, to confirm, you do have to pay for shipping, and this is once we get it. So
Right.
it will take, a little bit until it releases and all of that. So you probably can expect this like March to May, whenever it releases, we get it, and then
Right.
yeah. So want to make sure that's clear.
All right, guys. Should we do it? The Joker INART single pack. Let's spin it. Who's gonna win?
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Generic Panda.
Generic
Is he
Panda.
here?
Wow.
Is he
The
here?
generic Panda. He picked up a DX19 and got a cape from Tony May. Is he
Ooh.
here, bro?
Is he here?
I don't see his name in there.
Name
There's a
flame.
YouTube
Oh my
handle,
God.
so nope.
Is he here?
Spin it again.
Damn.
Spin it again.
Generic
It's always
He's here,
the-
he's here.
He's right there.
He's here.
Oh, he is
Oh,
here.
shit.
Okay.
You got it. You
He
got it.
posted
He just
here,
typed in
so-
like
Oh
six.
my
No, he
God.
typed in
Here,
like
here,
a
here,
million
here.
times. He's like spamming the
Oh
chat.
my god. Okay, generic
Nice.
and
I would
you
too,
want
to be
your-
fair. I would too.
Yeah.
The INART
Get that
Joker's
bot
coming
out of here.
back.
Yeah, it was a bot.
Should we check if he's in the group, Carlos? I know that was one of the things. I
Yep.
don't
So
know.
now,
yes.
Yeah, that's another thing. if
yep.
you
So
wanna
we have to
check
double
on-
check that he's in the group. So what we're
don't know what
doing
he's-
is that one of the rules was to join the group. So generic panda message Riley to make sure that you are in the group. And then what we were gonna do is spin it. We said 2 more times, right? To see if he wasn't in the group, then we would go to the second person who would win, who would be in the group. And if that person wasn't, then we would do a third.
Okay, he says he's Dylan. Oh, let me search up right now. He
Yeah,
says he's Dylan.
let's do it before. Can you do it? You
Good
got
to
it.
meet you, Dylan.
Yeah, I can check. Let's see.
All right.
We got a face, not a face reveal, but we got a
Like, I'm
reveal
gonna
of who the
join right
generic
now.
panda
Name
is.
reveal.
A name
Yeah, I'm
reveal,
joining
yeah.
right now.
Let's see.
I'm joining
His
right now.
identity.
Just put your social in the chat.
Yeah. Your
And then
address,
we'll be able to
social, and
confirm
phone
you.
number.
He
Wait,
is-
don't
he
do
is
that.
in the group. He is in the group, so we don't even have to spin it. He got it, dude. He's
Aw.
in the group right now.
Congrats,
So
generic
congratulations.
Dylan.
Oh,
Worth
he
of
is.
Yes.
Congrats, bro. Congrats.
Dylan,
Congratulations,
What a-
Mr. Panda. Well
Okay.
done.
what a weird again. What a name.
Mr. Panda.
He says he has his DX19, so congratulations to you, bro. That is awesome. And you won the INART single pack Joker. That's pretty awesome though. But yes. So we can just wrap it up here. It's been a long time, guys. I mean,
Yeah, let's fucking go.
Riley's like, get out of here, guys.
it's
gotta
felt
go
like
bed,
a
bro.
long time. I know Kiko's got sleep to go to. So I'll start with you, Carlos, since we ended it on this giveaway here. Can you talk about a place for collecting and maybe future giveaways we're going to be doing? What do you think, man?
Well, we are planning on doing some giveaways, but that big one is I don't know if it's gonna happen, but we're supposed to be doing something pretty big. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll know for sure, but we'll see. But yeah, place for collecting is a drama-free and toxic-free group. So it's we monitor it very closely. We have a big team of mods to make sure that it's kept only for collecting. So yeah, if anyone who isn't in the group wants to join to win future giveaways, because we'll do random giveaways to people who are active, the top 10 members. So we'll just do random stuff all the time. You know, please go in there and join in.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, bro. It was fun.
Yeah, dude, that was a lot of fun, and thank you obviously for creating the group and allowing me to be an admin. It's been a lot of fun. And Kiko, the second man who posted the YouTube video, dude. What do you got coming up on the channel? He just talked.
Yeah, so we're actually getting back into the videos to start off 2023 this week. So be checking that out. That is coming soon. We're doing more reels on the old Instagram. We talked about that. Apparently that's the new thing. Trying to do YouTube shorts that nobody watches. We're excited about that. And then yeah, just gonna keep posting out some cool pictures and stuff. So check us out on the IG, the YouTube, and the place for collecting. I'm trying to be more active. I really am, and I feel like it's not
bro.
I feel like I'm not being a good representative of a place for collecting because I don't comment, I don't do anything, but I am trying to do a little bit more. So,
man.
but yeah,
Don't worry.
what a great group of people.
Awesome, man. Yeah, appreciate that, Kiko, and appreciate you being on, going past your time to get this INART giveaway out. I know you got to get some rest and hit the gym, and get to work. You're a busy man.
Gotta earn that bread.
Exactly,
true,
bro. Appreciate that. And Justin, my man, Justin's collection. First time on the channel, dude. It was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you hopping on. What do you have coming up, dude? Because you've told me about a pretty busy week of boxes, some reviews, and some big reviews with that integrated suit Spidey and Joker, man. But what you got, man?
I have a lot of stuff waiting to be reviewed, but I'm at a crossroads because I'm also really tired. So, I mean, the last couple of days have been like mammoth review, like 35 minutes plus. It's like so many things that I need to show, and people are like, it's a 35-minute review. It takes 35 minutes to make, right? No,
It takes like 3 hours to do a 1-minute video for real.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, Kiko. It literally takes me like, I'll start at like 10 o'clock in the morning and I'll go until like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like that whole time I'll be filming, editing, Instagram pics, thumbnails. So I don't know. I kind of want to take the day off today and not review that Mark V thing because
If you're going in with a bad attitude, I can recommend don't do it because it is very, very finicky and you'll get in a worse mood. You'll get in a worse mood.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna do that, or maybe I'm not. So we'll see how we go. But I have a lot of stuff, third-party, official stuff. It's basically this huge ramp up for Chinese New Year, and then I am I am praying that when Chinese New Year hits, it goes quiet, and then we can just focus on the backlog of stuff, and then, you know, slowly start releasing stuff again. Not this like every single day there's something new, because I know for a lot of people, you know, it's hard to choose what to collect, and when you have so much stuff that's coming out at the same time, it gets even more tricky. So, you know, a lot of stuff coming up, but I'm hoping for the quiet times again. I missed you know, a couple of months ago when it was just, you know, every now and then a couple of big
Chinese New Year time. You're gonna take a load
Yeah,
off.
I know.
So,
and hopefully go to Hong Kong in February or March, undecided, and very controversial. But I'm gonna go to Toys Wonderland's offices and hopefully film and show some stuff there and show that they're not lizard people. Although, you know,
Okay.
some people may still think they are, but you know. And also toy hunting, shopping, figure stores, TNS figures. I've met them before. I know where their store is. Secret Base, Rebel Base, all the other bases. So yeah, a lot of stuff potentially coming up travel-wise as well.
Awesome, man. Well, that's exciting to hear. And yeah, stay tuned. Obviously, if you haven't checked out Justin, I'm sure almost everyone here has checked out his channel, but make sure to check him out. He just posted that INART Joker, and it looks damn good. And I was excited about that review, but appreciate you being on. Will,
Yeah, man.
himself, Will Foxification, one of my best bros. What you got coming on, bro? Thanks for jumping on.
Dude, well, thanks for having me, Riley. I'm honored to be included, bro, in this awesome interview that you put together. And yeah, man, so we have Lights Camera Collect Friday. Every Friday. Kiko now is on there every Friday. So Lights Camera Kiko. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Hey.
Yeah, see, right, Justin? The name just rolls off the tongue, bro.
It does.
So, and thanks, by the way, Ant Collectibles. He said he wants a Will figure with swap out wigs and Nickel Wise outfit. I saw someone posted too earlier. They want a Will Foxification Loki figure. And I was like,
oh,
nice,
yeah.
bro. I don't know if you guys saw that one poll that INART put up a long time ago, and there was a Will Foxification figure that got voted up pretty high, and it was ahead of Lurtz from Lord of the Rings. And I was like, nice, bro, more popular than Lurtz. So yeah, man, I appreciate it. But
won't let that go, huh?
No, dude, I'm gonna keep that forever. I will say, Riley, thanks so much, bro. There'll be other forms of content that I'll be doing that'll be new. So I'm excited about that. I'm starting a second channel that I'm gonna fill you guys on soon. So that's gonna be pretty fun. Separate little thing. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. It's a passion of mine, so it's gonna be pretty cool. Related to this stuff that we all love. So that's gonna be fun. And Riley, gotta say, love the spa music that we've been listening to.
You like it?
Very relaxing, bro.
I didn't hear anything.
I feel soothed.
You haven't heard? Yeah, because I will say, by the way, this is my last point here. Like, if you get facials to clean your face, this is the kind of music they play. It's very relaxing. I would recommend it. Men don't really do it that often. I'm telling you, bro. Play this music. They relax you. They give a nice cleansing thing. Try it out.
Wow.
You like it.
Best advice ever. I didn't expect to talk about that in the stream.
Well, I mean,
thank you, Will.
It's healthy,
No,
bro, because you got to clean your pores. Most guys don't have a facial
Preventative
routine.
maintenance. You can follow my wife's page. She got all that good stuff.
Oh,
on
there we
She'll
go.
get you
Shout
See,
out.
Kiko, I'm
There you
telling you,
go.
bro, it's really relaxing. I mean, yeah.
You take care of your figures. You dust and what I mean?
Right,
Take
right.
it easy.
I mean, take care of your silicone. I
Only
mean,
Bob Dylan.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Put up Bob Dylan.
Yeah. What about Dylan say?
Will likes facials.
Yeah, I do.
Oh boy. And with that, everybody.
Yeah, we can wrap that one. Oh, Anthony with the super chat. This is an
European
Avengers level
facials,
lineup.
Bob Dylan. European
Yeah,
facials.
only Europeans. Anthony, shout out to you. Bro.
Only Europeans.
Anthony's an actual moderator of a place for collecting. So shout outs for that super chat. Really
He sold me insurance. He's the one who
did he
sold me
really?
She
insurance.
said last time.
Really?
What, Javier sold you insurance?
Yeah, no, Anthony.
yeah,
He sold me insurance.
Oh, okay.
That's hilarious. Yeah, but I think Panda said if we're gonna message him on email or Messenger, it'll probably be Messenger. We'll hit you up.
You got to
after
figure
that.
out how to contact us, bro. That's how it
Yeah,
works.
we'll get you in.
It sounds like you won, but like you didn't really win. Like
You need to give us the
Contact us.
6-digit code that we sent you.
Guys, I found the keys of the kingdom. I forgot to give them to John.
Oh, send it over to him.
We need to
Shit,
get
John.
They're way too big, Will. We need a 1/6 scale key. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God damn, I
really
fucked up. We got to bring him back on because I forgot to give him the
Diecast.
keys of the kingdom. So
Diecast key.
we should have asked
gold-plated.
him. We should have been like, did you contact Toys Era for like packaging?
Oh, yeah, he's gonna be in that box, right?
sorry, the
Oh.
keys of the city. My apologies.
Yeah,
that's
Mark.
right, that's right. Keep
Time to
the
buy a
city.
mic with all that. Hey, who knows? We'll see. Maybe some possible upgrades. Like I said, any super chats will just go towards the channel. But let's end it on the key to INART. Thank you guys all for watching. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.